We're all looking for it, that sense of purpose. But what if the secret isn't where we think it is? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty counterintuitive but really powerful idea for finding meaning in your life, and it comes straight from the work of the legendary psychologist Carl Jung. So let's just start right here with this question. What is your North Star? Seriously, because without one, with that guiding purpose, life can feel totally aimless. It's like you're a ship on a huge, dark ocean with no stars to guide you. And it's that feeling, that sense of being lost, that we're going to talk about. Your purpose, you could say it's the thing you were built for. It's your why. And when you don't have it, that feeling of being lost just gets stronger and stronger, and it can really start to drain the meaning out of everything. And let's be honest, we've all done this. We go looking for purpose in all the usual spots, more money, a better job title, or recognition. But chasing those things often feels, hollow, right? You get there and you still feel empty. So what if the real answer is somewhere we'd never think to look? Well, that's where Carl Jung comes in. See, when he was writing his masterpiece, The Red Book, he wasn't just finding his own purpose. He stumbled onto a universal secret about where purpose actually comes from. And that secret, it's sacrifice. Yeah, according to Jung, you're not going to find real, lasting purpose in things that just serve yourself. It's not about the bigger paycheck, the cooler car, or that next temporary high. Those things, they aren't the destination. Okay, so here is the absolute key. Jung believed our purpose is found in what he called voluntary self-sacrifice. It's discovered in the one thing that you would willingly suffer for. It's about dedicating yourself to a cause, or an ideal, or maybe another person that you believe is more important than your own comfort, or maybe even your own life. And here's what makes this idea so powerful. Sacrifice, it's not optional. It's a fundamental part of being alive, kind of like death and taxes, So the choice isn't if you'll sacrifice, but how. Is life going to force suffering on you, or are you going to choose your burden? And this, right here, this shows you the two paths perfectly. On one side, you've got forced sacrifice. That's the suffering that just happens to you. It feels unfair, oppressive, and totally meaningless. But on the other side, you have voluntary sacrifice. That's the heavy thing you choose to carry for a cause you believe in. And that feels meaningful. It feels powerful. It feels good. That is the road to purpose. See, without a purpose you've chosen, all the inevitable hardships of life can start to feel like some kind of cosmic evil. Every setback, every struggle, it all just feels pointless and cruel because it's not serving anything. It's just pain. But, and this is wild, when you choose your suffering, when you give it a meaning, the whole experience changes. And brilliant thinkers from Nietzsche to Viktor Frankl have pointed this out. In a way, it's not even suffering anymore. It becomes proof of what you truly care about. Now look, I know this might sound a little abstract, but it's not just a theory. Let's look at how this really plays out. We can see this idea in action all throughout history, from some of the most famous people who ever lived to the quiet heroes we see every day. Just think about it for a second. Socrates chose to die rather than give up on a search for truth. Jesus willingly sacrificed himself for all of humanity. Cato took his own life rather than live under a tyrant, a final, ultimate sacrifice for freedom. Now, you can agree or disagree with their actions, but you can't argue that their lives lacked purpose. But here's the thing, you don't have to be some legendary figure to live a purposeful life. Not at all. This principle is working all around us, every single day, and sacrifice is both huge and tiny. I mean, is there a more powerful, everyday example than a mother who sacrifices her sleep, her energy, her own needs for her child? It's a voluntary burden that we all understand is one of the deepest sources of meaning and love there is. Or think about a firefighter running into a burning building while everyone else is running out. They are willingly, voluntarily putting their life on the line. Why? To serve and protect their community. That is a life driven by purpose. And it even goes beyond people. Think about the scientist who pours decades of their life into research, often with very little fame or money, all for the sake of discovery. They're sacrificing their time and energy for an idea, for human progress itself. So all of this brings the question right back to you. If real purpose is found in serving something greater, in choosing your sacrifice, then the most important question you can ask yourself is, what will you serve? And finding this doesn't have to be some huge, dramatic moment. It can start small, day by day. First, you just have to find something, a person, a cause, an ideal, that's bigger than you. Second, you start dedicating your time and energy to it. And third, you find a way to do it that makes you feel good, that you're actually happy to wake up and do again tomorrow. Because the alternative, well, this quote just nails it. If you have nothing greater than yourself to pour your energy into, where does it all go? It just gets invested back into yourself. And since our time here is limited, all that energy is ultimately wasted. And that's where that feeling of meaninglessness comes from. And so we end up right back where we started, with the one question that really matters, the question that gets to the absolute heart of a meaningful life. What would you willingly sacrifice for? The answer to that question, that's your purpose.